Hello everyone, welcome to the Red Men TV. Liverpool unfortunately just been beaten 2-1 by Union Saint-Gilloise. A bit of a mad team was put out by Liverpool tonight. We had Kelleher in goal, Bradley, Canate, Quansah and Chambers was the back four, with Elliott, Enzo, Jones in midfield three, behind Gordon, Gakpo and Benzo playing on that left-hand side. It was obviously a dead rubber game heading into it, of course, because Liverpool were already guaranteed to be top of the Europa League group. That being said, we were looking forward to seeing, I think, the likes of Benzo and Kai Gordon. You know, how would Elliott do from the start? What can we learn about Conor Bradley and is he ready? Luke Chambers, etc., etc. Will we find out a little bit more about Jarrell Quansah? We obviously know, I think, about Ibu Konate enough, and Gakpo maybe, Jones, what type of players they are. Honestly, it was a really disappointing performance for me. I just don't think it was cohesive in any way, shape or form. In fact, I thought quite the opposite. And that was kind of borne out in the game. You know, Liverpool lose the game 2-1. They have a goal ruled correctly, I think, offside, ruled off for a handball. There's a question mark over their first goal, to be honest with you, about whether that was even onside. I haven't seen any lines or anything, but to the naked eye, and I know, you got to be careful when you're looking at the football pitch and the camera angles and all that type of stuff, but I've not seen anything to suggest that goal should have stood. But there's no point in crying about it. Liverpool knew they didn't need to win the game, knew they could afford to lose the game, knew they could afford to give young players some experience in the competition away from home, etc., etc. But I do think that, we will walk away from this one a little bit disappointed because, for as excited as I was about Bradley and Chambers and seeing a little bit more of Scanlon. In fact, there's a question here coming here from Will in Wisconsin. If I can get it up, we are on a mad one today. Any thoughts on the three young fullbacks? I feel that's a position in the squad because you're a little more covering. I didn't see any of them as anywhere close. I agree with you. I mean, and I try to sort of temper expectations around Bradley going into this one because I know a lot of talk about, he can be the backup and he was supposed to be the backup for Trent and all that type of stuff. And I've never really agreed with that. Like, I know he was supposed to be a squad player, but I've always kind of thought that he was always third in the pecking order, probably behind Joe Gomez. And I saw nothing today that changed my mind, if I'm being honest. I think he just looks a lot more comfortable going forward as a sort of a flying fullback. Now, there was times where he was tucking in and, playing that inverted role today, and maybe that will suit him, but I think he looks more natural just as an attacking fullback. When he goes across the halfway line, he looks really good. I think his positioning and the position of all the defenders, certainly in the second half, there was a good 10-minute period where we completely lost our heads when Joe Gomez was playing back there with Quansah and Scanlon and Bradley. I thought we looked really, really poor at times, and porous as well. In fact, we conceded 2.21 expected goals, but 15 shots and only had 4 ourselves. They had more shots on target, 6, double the amount of shots on target we had of 3, but more than we've had just shots in total. They had 3 big chances to our 0. I don't think that is shines a particularly good light on Liverpool. I mean, it was just really disappointing, wasn't it, all round, I suppose, for me, and that's tough. That's really, really tough to watch, and it makes watching these games really, really hard. But as professionally pessimistic says here, couldn't care we lost. Now, I don't care that we lost the game. I didn't care going into it that we would lose the game or could lose the game, because obviously it was a complete and utter dead rubber. But I do care about people's performances. And I think it's a very difficult thing. A team like that, you never really see the best out of these teams. It's so difficult. And I think that's borne out through watching football for a number of years now, that whenever a side goes like 5 young kids, and 5 first team squad players, not maybe all first teamers, the performance is never there, because what we do naturally is we judge those players against what we've got, and what we've got is world-class footballers littered through our first 11. And I think the other thing is you probably take for granted a little bit just how good these players are, because, Union Saint-Gilloise, I've seen the word pub team. They're not a pub team, of course. They're in the Europa League. But they do have to obviously get there through a Belgian league, which probably isn't the best. And it would be interesting to find out what level they are at in terms of the English football pyramids. Because I've seen teams like we've put out tonight struggle against League One opposition. And I don't think they're quite League One. I think they're probably more Championship level. But it doesn't surprise me that when you go up against a team of men who are fighting for something, let's not forget that they were trying to get themselves and keep themselves in Europe. Obviously, they were trying to get themselves in the Europa League, but I think they've gone into the Conference League, which is a massive win for them and a massive scalp just in Liverpool Football Club. But yeah, really difficult to watch, tough to watch. And I think the big talking point really is probably around Caoimhin Kelleher, because Caoimhin obviously tonight, I don't think, for that. First goal? Was it the first goal? I think he just slips. Got himself into a good position, but then he's beaten at the near post for the seconds. Not good enough. Position was not right for that. I don't think he had a very convincing game. Be interested to know what you guys think about that. I mean, I can see here now, Drumstick Shredder just saying the keeper was poor. Getting beat on his near post for the seconds. Yeah, I agree with that. And, we wanted to see Caoimhin sort of kick on with these games that he's able to get in the Europa League and stuff. And I feel like since he came into it, obviously he's done brilliantly, and, he's got us to cup finals before, he's won us cup finals before. I feel like I wouldn't say plateau's the right way, because a plateau is obviously get up there and you level off. I feel like he's got up there and he's come down and he's plateaued a little bit. And I think that to me says that I think Kelleher is, and he knew this himself, I think it's time for his own development that he goes and plays first team football, because I'm not sure how much he can improve at Liverpool without first team football. I think he's still got a bright future ahead of him. I just don't think it's at us, unfortunately. And I think that's more for his career than Liverpool wouldn't want to keep him around, because I do think Liverpool would want to keep him around because I think they've got the belief in him. But, as a 25-year-old, still a young goalkeeper, but not a young man anymore in football in terms of outfield players. I just think he'll probably know that it's his time to maybe move on. And I think Liverpool would rather keep him around, of course, and Klopp would as well. But I do think he'll think it's time to go, and I think he will go and probably have a good career somewhere, maybe next season. Farhad Hayat is just saying in there in the YouTube comments here, what a strike from Quansah. I mean, the corner comes in from Kurt Jones, doesn't it? And you're thinking, it kind of looks like, something here. And the touch by Quansah was absolutely perfect. And then he just smashes his foot through it. And this is a lad who's got the world in front of him, really, isn't it? And I don't think defensively he's had a great game. I think he's had a great start to the season. But I think he's found it difficult today, conceding so many chances against him, really on the back foot. A little bit different to what he's experienced in the first team so far, I think it's fair to say, where Liverpool, although for all the domination of the ball that we've had in this game, even like 69% possession, etc., there was a lot of chances that we were conceding, and that was down to a lack of control in the middle of the park. And that's probably where I'm most disappointed in this performance, certainly in the first half, because Endo, too many mistakes, Kurt Jones, too many mistakes, Elliott not involved in the game first half at all. And they're three lads that you think should be able to do something in the game and maybe look to dominate them. But, they're three lads that are as close to the first team as you're going to get without being a starter week in and week out in Jones, Elliott and Endo now because of McAllister's injury. So that's probably where my big disappointment comes from today. I'm okay. I can make my peace with Chambers and Bradley and obviously Doak and Kai Gordon and stuff like that. But yeah, I think my disappointment comes from that midfield unit and how it didn't really work. And I think Ellie got a little bit better seconds half, and I think Jones looked at maybe a touch better in the six. Gravenberg came in but didn't really set the world alight, although was looking to try and make things happen. But it was tough sledding for Liverpool tonight, wasn't it? I think all the way around. And those those young lads, I feel a bit sorry for them because they obviously want a platform where they can go out and seize an opportunity. And I don't think that platform was afforded them tonight. I just don't think the senior lads played well enough to be able to carry the young lads along with them. But yeah, I mean, I still can't get over that first goal from them. I really, really can't. And then, yeah, some of the lads that came on as subs more ago says, Nunes didn't get much service, to be fair. No, he didn't get much service at all, did he? And, the substitutes that we make, obviously, let's just see if I can pull them up now, actually, because I had them up a minute ago and I've completely lost them. Ryan Gravenberch comes on, Joe Gomez comes on, Darwin Nunes, Scanlon, McConnell as well, and hopefully he's all right after that, a bit of a tough injury there for him, but just one of them games, isn't it, where when there's no jeopardy on a football match, you never seem to get the performance that you really want. I'm going to get over to Twitter anyway. This still is sort of the fan interactive show, obviously. Not got the bells and whistles that we normally have because our streaming software is just completely fucked at the moment, to be quite honest with you. Aaron's done an incredible job and Frank muddling through tonight. But yeah, it's going to be a bit of a different post-match for us. So I'm going to do this show, and I'll get into some more of the comments and stuff now. I'm going to leave the player rankings show for tonight as well, because I want to get in there and focus on trying to fix the software for the shows at the weekend and the shows that we've got upcoming tomorrow. But more importantly, the Manchester United game, to make sure that we're fit and firing and all where we need to be for that massive watch-along and massive day, hopefully, for Liverpool. So yeah, I'm going to get into some of the comments and stuff now. Just see if I can pull them up and see where we go from here. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to bring them up in the usual manner where we, start to normally put them on the screens and stuff like that. But I should be able to get your tweets up and read through a few of them for you. So let's have a little look. Okay, found you. Paul says not bothered about the results or the individual performances from the youngsters, as they could be a little nervous or excited, but the experienced players, team shape and use of the ball was more concerning, as that's direct from the coaching staff. Canate doesn't look at it at the moment. Gomez constantly hoofing the ball and giving it away. Was he instructed to do that? Never marshalled the back line or helped the youngsters either, as they were being walked past. They was constantly out of position, leaving acres of space in behind and too many long balls to an isolated attack. I kind of agree with everything that Paul said there, and I echoed some of that a little bit earlier on, or maybe he echoed me, who knows. And Paul Harrison says, to be fair, they played exactly like the first team have for the last few games, although the first team was scoring late goals, so that obviously makes things a little bit better. Daniel Gore says, we got ourselves in that position to enable us to put out that team and absorb that result. Main men rested for Sunday, and some young lads got invaluable experience. Business time now, happy days. And Daniel's exactly spot on here, isn't he? Because this is where we are at. We knew that we could play a dead rubber game here. So other rival fans can banter us all we want, but we got ourselves into this position by topping the group and knowing that we topped the group. We've got Manchester United at the weekend. We've got a cup quarter-final in the Carabao Cup, midweek, West Ham, and we've got Arsenal at the top of the table clash. Let's hope it's still a top of the table clash. Well, it will still be a top of the table clash. Let's hope we're still first by the time that game rolls around. So yeah, we needed that. We left lads at home. This is what we were able to do because of how good we've managed the squad and how well we've done that, because we've still given young players experience in this competition, but it was a step too far this time without the major first teamers and stuff not even bothering to go over there. So yeah, I'm happy just generally speaking, because that's what you've got to remember about this, that it's we might have lost the battle tonight, but we want to win the war. And the war's a Premier League, and the war's a Europa League title, and a Carabao Cup, and an FA Cup. And by putting this team out and absorbing this result, like Daniel says there, we've given ourselves a better chance of succeeding later on in the season. So that's good, although there are disappointments for the performance and having to sit through a Liverpool loss, because we're Liverpool fans and Liverpool losses hurt us, as they always have done and always will do, I suppose. Dave Vaughan says none of these senior players involved tonight should play against Manchester United. So Gakpo, let's have a little think about Cody. Wasn't really involved. Again, the service wasn't there. Probably the midfielder, Jones, Elliott. Yeah, I don't think they've really particularly staked the claim. Canate is going to be involved. Joe Gomez probably going to be involved in some way, shape or form over the course of the 90 minutes. So I expected that's going to happen. But I think on the balance of what you're saying there, then it is likely that they probably don't really deserve. I mean, Karate was a little bit, all over the place, wasn't he, at times? And Joe Gomez, yeah, you're right, probably not exactly the same. So, yeah, tough one for them. But we're the group winners, and that's what we've got to remember. Dave Vaughan says player rankings, everyone's your messing. Everyone's your messing or sound. There's nothing higher than that, but I won't be doing that. It's nice to say. I want to get the stuff sorted. Marcus Ward, one of our YouTube members, says Jones and Harvey were disappointing. Agreed. Paul Milligan, Jones squared the ball to Mo for the equaliser against Palace. Obviously, I've jumped in on a conversation. I think it was Drumstick Shredder who said Jones still has no impact on games, which is worrying for me. Yeah, I disagree with that. Obviously, he did square the ball for the equaliser against Palace. He's literally got an assist tonight, whether you credit him or not. I mean, he should be credited for an assist tonight, but I don't think he was. I'm not saying here, by the way, that he had a great performance. He didn't. I think he'll know that, and I think he'll be bitterly disappointed because we know what Curtis is like, and that he is a Scouser and a Liverpool fan, and he captained this side tonight, and he'll have wanted to captain Liverpool to a win, and he'll have wanted to play well when he captained Liverpool Football Club. So he'll be disappointed, and he'll have wanted to put a performance in so that he can stake a claim for the weekend, and he might still be involved at the weekend. Who knows? But I doubt it now. Yeah, tough one. I'm going to get back over to something on Twitter. Great experience as John Edwards for the young lads. You might not get this chance again in a long while. No injuries and rest for the main lads. Shame they didn't win, but shit happens. Oh, and the first goal was offside. Anyway, you're right, it was. And the great and most pertinent point there is no injuries and rest for the main lads. And that's what we're talking about when we say moving on to the next week and this important sort of spell of the season, obviously with Christmas coming up and the games coming thick and fast, having a big game where, all right, we're away from home, but it's a short trip, but that we can essentially take off is obviously a good thing. So yeah, there you go. Short and sweet tonight, as I say, I do really want to get in there and fix all that so that we're able to actually produce the shows properly on Sunday in a game that isn't a dead rubber. So yeah, thanks very much for putting up with me tonight. Thanks very much for anyone who's watched the stream, the watch along, and enjoyed the watch along, and thank you for tuning in and watching this one. We'll be back with the match preview show tomorrow. We'll be back Sunday for the big one, Manchester United. Ta-ra.
Hey, thank you so much for checking out the content today. If you want to get your name in and amongst these wonderful people, then head to redmenplus.com. Join as a Legend tier subscriber. You're going to get free merchandise codes. You're going to get in our Discord, and you're going to get your name at the end of YouTube videos. Yes, redmenplus.com, Legend tier status.